So now I am in the second half of my program after the break, and before going on the break, I mentioned that the telephone lines would be opened in the second half. Now the telephone lines are open. There is a telephone number appearing on the screen. You can use that number, make a telephone call. You can ask any question pertaining to today's topic, or you can pass any comment to bring strength to the argument or this discussion on the topic. So before the break, I was saying that without these 6 commanders, General Khalid Rabbani, General Ishfaq Nadeem, General Naveed Mukhtar, General Sarfraz Sattar, General Amir Riaz, and General Bilal Akbar, and a few more, General Raheel Sharif could not launch this Zarb-e-Azab military campaign. It was only possible with the support of these 6 people. Now my question is, it's exam question, that if tomorrow General Raheel Sharif takes over the command of this 34-nation military bloc of Islamic countries, my question is, will he have the subordinates like these 6 Pakistani generals, Ishfaq Nadeem, Khalid Rabbani, Naveed Mukhtar, Bilal Akbar, Amir Riaz? Will he have the support of these military commanders in Saudi Arabia? Now, can we assume the current Saudi Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Abdurrahman al-Bunyan, or the Saudi Intelligence Chief, General Khalid bin Humaydan, so would they be able to provide that support to General Raheel Sharif as the Supreme Commander of 34 Nations Military Alliance, the way General Khalid Rabbani provided him the military support in Peshawar? Now, will the UAE Army Chief, General Hamad bin Rumethi, would he be able to provide that strong support and backing as a commander, subordinate commander to General Raheel Sharif, what General Ishfaq Nadeem provided General Raheel Sharif as CGS? Now, will the Bahraini Chief of Army Staff, General Khalifa al-Khalifa, provide the same military support to General Raheel Sharif what General Amir Riaz provided him as DGMO in Rawalpindi? So this is the question. As alone, as a single person, single commander, General Raheel Sharif was nothing. He depended on these 6-7 leading generals. Will he get the 6-7 generals of that status, of that military dexterity, of that military expertise, that strength, that combat acumen which he had in Rawalpindi, without which he could not succeed? Now, Allama Iqbal said something beautiful on that, very, very relevant, that फर्द कायम रब्ते मिल्लत से है, तन्हा कुछ नहीं, मौज है दरिया में और बैरून दरिया कुछ नहीं. So the answer is there, that until and unless General Raheel Sharif gets the support of powerful generals like the Pakistani generals in the new military alliance, General Raheel Sharif cannot play any role in this future military alliance. We have a caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Hello?
Yes, who is calling?
Mrs. Tahir from Bradford.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program, Mrs. Tahir.
Again, an extraordinary program about an extraordinary personality. Thanks for presenting such a beautiful program. Hello?
Thank you. I'm listening to you. Yes, carry on.
First of all, I want to say a few things about Raheel Sharif. If you look at his legacy in 3 years' time, without any compromise, without any pressure from international or national forces, you know what was the circumstances he faced by Pakistani politicians, when there was attack on a school in Peshawar. After that, he said that this attack is on the heart of Pakistan, and he felt that, and he realized, and he said that it is time to fight against real culprits, or then we need to bring them, like in what happened in Karachi. The third biggest political force was involved. They were always shouting for terrorism, these terrorists doing this, but they were the biggest force to, under their umbrella, they were exporting terrorism in all Pakistan, and they were doing politics on weapons and all these things. मैं इसलिए कह रही हूँ कि एक जनरल जो है वो इतनी मतलब उसकी अगर वो with good intentions, with good जो उनकी intentions इतनी अच्छी हैं, अगर वो एक पूरी मुस्लिम दुनिया में जो आज पूरा फसाद है और जो असल जो मुजरिम है उनको मुस्लिम दुनिया के उनको अगर एक कटहरे में खड़ा करके बचाना चाहते हैं तो उसकी हमें पूरी सपोर्ट करनी चाहिए. लेकिन जो लोग आज मीडिया के लोग स्पेशली जो इन सियासी जमातों के पेरोल पे सबसे ज़्यादा उन्होंने राइल शरीफ की मुखालफत की है और एक प्रोपेगेंडा चलाया है, और इनको शर्म नहीं आती कि दुनिया के 45 मुल्क जो हैं 350,000 troops nearly from all these different countries, दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी पावर्स वो इकट्ठी हो चुकी हैं, और एक के बाद दूसरा मुल्क और दूसरे के मुल्क के बाद तीसरा मुल्क और तीसरे के मुल्क के बाद चौथा मुल्क जो है एक टेररिज्म की उसको बना के एक हवा जिस तरह 9/11 पेश किया गया, और फिर उसके बाद पूरी दुनिया में ये मुसलमान दहशतगर्द. लेकिन आप मुझे बताएं कि कराची में जो सबसे बड़ी दहशतगर्दी कर रहा था उसको सपोर्ट कौन, उसके हेड को कौन सपोर्ट फराहम कर रहा है दुनिया में?
Thank you very much. I've got your point. Thanks for calling. Now, my question is that General Rahil Sharif, will he have to take with him about 10-12 battle-hardened senior military commanders who retired recently in order to play his pivotal role and make triumphs, the similar triumphs as he made in Pakistan, in case he takes over as the supreme commander? Now, who he will take with himself? Before we go into that detail, I would like to suggest a few things. That at the moment, this military alliance has not even been defined. It's still in embryonic phase. So one needs to draft a military doctrine for this alliance. And then obviously most of the 6 Gulf Cooperation Council countries, or 22 members of the Arab League, or 53 nations, Muslim nations of the world, 57 Muslim nations of the world, members of the OIC, they don't have a culture of writing regular strategic defense reviews. So unless those strategic defense reviews, their copies are available, no military doctrine can be written on this new military alliance, which is very ambitious plan of Saudi Arabia. So they need to write a military doctrine for that. And then they have to find the bespoke solutions, the tailor-made solutions for this alliance. They have to clearly define the enemy, who this should be directed to. And before they go into these details, I would suggest that it's worthwhile to study. Yeah, we have got another caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Ijaz bhai, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
MashaAllah, alhamdulillah. May Allah keep you well and good.
Who is calling? Who is calling?
Yeah, Ijaz bhai, one thing which I cannot understand.
Can I take your name, sir?
My name is Azad.
Sorry?
Azad.
Azad. Thank you, brother. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. I'm not a Pakistani actually, but as a Muslim, what I've been witnessing all this, what is happening now, how can a criminal country like Saudi Arabia try to gather all the Muslim countries to unite behind, and they are going to lead, they are the leaders, they are going to lead a Muslim army. I mean, it is beyond even understanding. There is no intellect into it. Those people are worthless. They cannot do anything. Secondly, I mean, you can see what is happening in Yemen. They've ganged on a country which is one of the poorest country on this in this world. Look at it. They are starving people to death. They don't have any courtesy, whether it's a child or whether it's an old person. And what is their gain? What is their gain? There is, I can't, even if they won it, by ganging on a country which is so weak, and even if they won it, what are they going to win? Take a control over it and do what? You see, I mean, I can't see. And what is the purpose of having the Muslim army? I think there is a very big agenda behind that. And that is only one thing. I will be very open, and I think that is one which has been played at to attack Iran. They want to see that country doesn't progress, because you can see what they have done in Syria, what they have done in Iraq, what is the situation in Lebanon, India, I mean Pakistan, Afghanistan. What is happening to we Muslims? Are we that dumb? Are we that stupid? Are we just using the label of Islam and that's the end of it without even understanding what we are doing? And thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your call, brother. Now, I was saying that before going into details, first of all, General Raheel Sharif, the very first act he should carry out is he should go into details and study the original draft of NATO of 4th of April 1949, the original document. He must go into details, all the articles of that charter on which this was based. And then he should also study in details the Warsaw Pact original document of 5th of May 1955. So these documents, they were the military alliances of that time. So documents about them would be a good starting point before a military doctrine is written about this new military alliance of Muslim countries. So these two documents are to be studied. And if at all General Raheel Sharif is so ambitious that he is happy to accept that, I don't have a problem if he accepts that, or if he refuses that. I don't have a problem. I don't want to be judgmental on that. He has to make that decision himself. So if he makes that decision, then he will have to go into details of these two theoretical frameworks. One is for the NATO, the other is for Warsaw Pact. So then the military doctrine, then the strategic defense reviews from these countries who would like to contribute financially and from the human resource point of view, and their strategic defense reviews should be available. And there should be a bespoke military training institution in place before anything serious or substantive takes place. And he should pick up not the title of Supreme Commander, he should rather pick up the title of the Secretary General, so that he is the political head, strategic head, and the military head of this new ambitious alliance which the Saudis they want to make. And he should ask for the full autonomy. So will it depend on the hopeless, on the coward, shabbily trained generals of Egyptian army, or the quasi-military army of the Jordanians? Will it depend upon them? No, not at all. So no second star or third star general from these countries would be able to play that role which the Pakistani GOCs and the corps commanders they played when General Raheel Sharif became successful in Zarb Azb. So he will have to take along with him 10 to 12 recently retired 2 and 3 star generals, so that he has got his immediate subordinate, his generals, very powerful, battle-tested and battle-hardened people. Only then he can play some role. And in addition to that, it's not so easy. So Nawaz Sharif has no role. Khwaja Asif, I mean, these people are completely irrelevant. They can't say a sentence on the strategy or tactics in the realm of military. So how they can think about the permission or approval of him joining a foreign country's military alliance? We got another caller online. Assalamu alaikum.
वालेकुम सलाम जी, मेरा एक पॉइंट रह गया था, अगर प्लीज इजाजत हो तो.
Yes, please go ahead.
सिर्फ ये पूछना चाहती हूँ कि अमेरिका की सरपरस्ती में पूरी मुस्लिम दुनिया के खिलाफ जो कुछ हो रहा है वो तो हम कबूल कर लेते हैं, उसकी कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन नहीं करते, लेकिन राइल शरीफ ने जो स्टेप लिया है तो सऊदी अरब को क्या एक्सक्यूज बनाकर हमें इसे कंट्रोवर्शियल नहीं बनाना चाहिए.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Now the thing is that it's not the permission that has to be granted by the Pakistani Prime Minister or Pakistani President or Pakistani political elite or whosoever is irrelevant in that to get an NOC, no objection certificate for General Rail Chief. He does not require that. But the real thing which he requires is from the Commander CENTCOM. Commander CENTCOM, General Joseph Wathil, is today in Pakistan and he would be there tomorrow also. He is having very important discussions with General Qamar Javed Bajwa, the current army chief. We got another caller online. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
Yes, please.
My name is Fatima.
Okay.
And I want to ask a question. That today Saudi Arabia has asked Rahil Sharif to head the army and raise an army. What if tomorrow Iran asks one of our retired generals to raise an army? Then there won't be a clash between the two religious identities, one following Shia and one following Sunni. So what do you think, that it's going to be a Muslim army or more of a Sunni and Shia army?
Thank you very much for your question. That's a fantastic question actually. And I wanted somebody to ask me that question. Basically, if you compare the Iranian army of 500,000 strong troops and the Saudi army or any other Arab League country army or the 6 GCC member states armies, there's a huge difference between an Iranian general. These people are professionally trained and they've got strong combat exposure, experience. So they don't need any foreign general coming from Pakistan or elsewhere to teach them how they have to launch a military. They are self-reliant, they are self-sufficient. Let me tell you, I mean, a few Iranian generals I have interacted with in different forums, different conferences in Iran and elsewhere. So they don't require any general coming from Pakistan and teaching them strategy, tactics, and war plans and grand plans. So the people like General Bakiri, General Salehi, General Hadri, General Safi, General Sayyari, and General Hussain Ashtari, General Aziz Jafri, General Qasim Soleimani, these army generals in the Iranian army, they are battle hardened. They have fought the wars as captains, majors, the war against Iraq, the war against other 3 countries. And they have planned successful war. And militarily they have made the Iranian army, the Iranian armed forces so strong that even Benjamin Netanyahu's IDF in Israeli Defense Forces, they cannot threaten them. They cannot challenge their military prowess, their military sagacity, their military prudence, their military acumen. So Iranians, they don't need, Iranian army does not need any foreign exotic military commander who can come to Tehran and say, all right, I can teach you this and that. So basically this is the requirement of the Saudis. The Saudis required that. The Arabs, they required that. Now, coming back to General Rahil Sharif, if at all he has to seek permission, the permission has to come from the Pentagon. Because he would be operating in a region which is dominated by the CENTCOM. When we say CENTCOM, then 5th Fleet in Manama, which is led by Admiral Cavan Donegan. So if Rahil Sharif has to seek permission, or if the Saudis for that matter, if Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the defense minister of Saudi Arabia, who is also the deputy crown prince. He's also the Chancellor of Exchequer, the finance minister for Saudi Arabia. His spending power is $10 billion per year. Such a rich man, such a powerful man. Defense minister, finance minister, and deputy crown prince. So all these things, 3 hats he is wearing. So even he cannot grant a full autonomy to General Rahil Sharif. He has to seek permission and approval from CENTCOM, from General Joseph Votel. And General Joseph Votel have to send that permission to the commander of 5th Fleet in Manama, which is Admiral Kevin Donegan. So the approval has to come from that side, because the weapons Saudis have, it's a $200 billion worth of inventory, weapons inventory Saudi Arabia has got. Saudi Arabia has procured the weapons, arms, and military hard equipment worth $200 billion only in the last 5 years. So somebody has to use that. So Rahil Sharif will have to take a very large number of military commanders from Pakistan, from the Signal Battalion, from the Corps of Signals, from Corps of EME, and from the Corps of Artillery, Corps of Armored Corps, and infantry. All the military trainers, they'll have to go from Pakistan to Saudi Arabia, and teaching those people that if at all they have to raise an army of 250,000 strong rapid response force, they will have to be taught these weapons and arms. And a large number of them, they are still packed. The packing has not been opened yet, even after 4 or 5 years. So somebody has to train this new ambitious 250,000 size strong military force, that how to use these weapons. And another thing is that before they go into details, there is a very this bit of information is much more important, that if General Rahil Sharif has to accept that slot, that offer from Saudi Arabia, first of all, he will have to put conditions. One is condition of autonomy, that he should be 100% powerful. He should not be influenced by the Suderi princes, the Suderi royals, or any powerful person in Saudi Arabia. So the autonomy should be 100%. The second thing is, before he signs any agreement with Saudi Arabia, General Rahil Sharif will have to ask the Saudis that please reinstate all those 139,000 poor Pakistani laborers Saudi Arabia has sent them out of the country in the last 2 years. So they should be reinstated. They should be rehabilitated, re-employed back in Saudi Arabia, so that those 139,000 families in Pakistan, they should have their sustenance guaranteed. So this should be another big, condition attached to it. So along with that, Saudi Arabia will have to give full autonomy to General Rahil Sharif, if at all he has to accept that, and they'll have to define the enemy, whether this is Daesh, whether this is Al-Qaeda, Taliban, or their affiliates, or the conflation of all these 3 forces. Because soon we will come to know that before the end of this year, the Daesh will have access to the small military drones. You can buy from the open market for $400 to $5,000, and you put a 2 to 3 kilogram payload of ammunition or TNT, and you explode that with precise targets. So first of all, they will have to see that what would be the C4I for that new military alliance, how that has to be sorted out, how the cyber warfare would be dealt with, how the intel realm, the intelligence realm would be sorted out, who will do that, who would carry out that, and the cutting edge military technology, how they are going to deal with that. So if this 250,000 strong troops force, if that surge, that military surge has to take place in Saudi Arabia, they'll have to be more careful. Pursuit of glory is an expensive business. And with that, I conclude my program. Next Monday with another topic and a new program. Till then, thank you very much indeed. Bye-bye.